The common kestrel, one of the most abundant and recognisable birds of prey that can be found in Britain and Europe. It is a relatively small species in the falcon family, with a body length of around 35 centimeters long, making it similar in size to the Eurasian sparrowhawk, which is often confused for it, even though the two are not actually closely related. Throughout the world, there are actually numerous species of kestrels that can be found, each slightly different in appearance and size, but for the purpose of this video, we are focusing specifically on the common or Eurasian kestrel. The tiny and beautiful American kestrel pictured here is often confused with the species that is found in Britain and Europe, but there are many crucial differences, other than American kestrels being less than half the size of the British or Eurasian ones. American kestrels do have some similarity in terms of flight and appearance to the common kestrel, but they are in fact in many ways even more bold and tenacious bird hunters than their Eurasian counterparts, despite their diminutive size. Kestrels are indeed part of the falcon family, a family of birds of prey which are infamous for their high-speed flight. Kestrels do indeed share some of the distinctive family traits of their larger falcon brethren, including their long pointed wings and a quick, agile flight. The common kestrel's wings remain long and pointed, more so than the short rounded wings of accipiters like sparrowhawks, but still not quite as long or as pointed as the wings of peregrines or hobbies, for example, though they have comparatively longer tail feathers. Having a longer tail enables kestrels to break and turn in flight more effectively, which combined with their smaller size and elegant build makes them especially manoeuvrable, and they are able to reach up to 40 miles per hour in a straight line. However, tremendous speed in the air is not necessarily the main part of the kestrel's infamy. In the UK, kestrels are mostly birds of open spaces, particularly farmland habitats, where they mostly hunt small ground-dwelling animals, particularly rodents and lizards, along with large insects and the occasional small bird. To hunt prey like this, kestrels certainly need to be fast, but they don't seem to require the intense speed used by other falcon species that hunt more aerial prey, for example, and instead require more aerial control and agility to pounce on small prey items like these. Kestrels are best known for their unique hunting behaviour amongst falcons, where they hover above the ground looking for small prey below them. In Britain, the kestrel is by far the best known species of raptor to engage in this kind of frequent hunting behaviour, but American kestrels, along with many other kestrel species around the world, will also engage in a very similar kind of flight. When hunting small terrestrial animals, kestrels will use a variety of different tactics in order to successfully capture their prey. They will often engage in another kind of hunting behaviour known as still hunting, which is used by virtually all other kinds of birds of prey given the chance, where they essentially take a high perch and scan the ground below for movement before pouncing on unsuspecting prey, a pretty energy efficient way of hunting. Wild kestrels are most frequently sighted hunting in open rural habitats, often alongside hedgerows or even motorways. In this position, they may utilise both the still hunting and hovering techniques in order to scan for their prey, but it seems that the hovering technique is their most preferred. The ability to remain essentially stationary in mid-air enables a kestrel to have a clear vantage point from above, scanning the ground below for moving targets while remaining in a better aerial position in order to make an attack. Like all birds of prey, kestrels have especially large eyes in relation to their skull, and therefore have exceptional vision, and when they are hovering in this position, they are often watching for small rodents like voles and mice running along their usual pathways, amongst tall grasses for example. As well as having exceptional visual acuity, with some sources stating that a kestrel can spot a prey item as tiny as a beetle from over 50 meters away, kestrels are also said to be able to see into the ultraviolet spectrum. It has long been assumed that because of this feature, kestrels are able to see the urine trails left behind by voles and other small rodents as they patrol through grasses and other ground cover, thus leading the kestrel to the location of their prey and being able to successfully capture them. though the true extent of how far into the ultraviolet spectrum kestrels can actually see has been taken into question in recent years. While scanning for this terrestrial prey, however, the kestrel has to make some effort in order to maintain this position in the air, thanks to a variety of different physical adaptations and movements. Kestrels are in fact able to hover in still air, but they are far less effective and graceful in this state, and it uses up a lot more energy. Their hovering manoeuvre is at its most effective when the kestrel turns to face into a headwind, as you can see by this individual in the footage being shown. When the kestrel is flying normally in a horizontal position, or positioning itself to get ready to begin hovering, notice how the wings are fully extended, but the tail feathers are completely furled in, and the tail appears very narrow. Once the bird is in the right position to hover, the tail feathers immediately spread apart and act almost like brakes, holding the bird in position. Now facing into the wind, the kestrel makes various adjustments of its fully extended wings and tail to maintain its position as best as possible. Beating its wings maintains the bird's lift along with the headwind, with the extended tail feathers acting as brakes, stabilizing the bird in mid-flight. If the headwind begins to drop a little, the kestrel will start to beat its wings a little more to keep a flow of air going across them to maintain its lift. The whole time, the kestrel's head remains completely locked down towards the ground, while its body and wings seem to move completely independently from its head. This is known as gaze stabilization, enabling the bird to maintain its aerial position while remaining completely visually fixated on a potential target. Once a prey item is spotted, or the kestrel decides that its victim is unaware of its presence at the right moment, the kestrel turns in the air, tucks in its wings, and dives towards the ground for the pounce. When a kestrel is hovering like this, you truly see how manoeuvrable they really are, and they are almost butterfly-like in their buoyancy. In a stronger headwind, the kestrel may not even need to flap its wings at all, but simply hold them extended while making minute adjustments to the primaries. The stronger the headwind is, the more energy efficient it will be for the kestrel overall. Attacking the prey at the end shows the kestrel's true speed and agility. A typical falcon, the kestrel pulls in its wings, making them much more sharp in appearance, diving or stooping straight towards the ground. Small rodents, such as voles and mice, can quickly dash to the safety of a burrow or thicker cover if needed, so it is essential that the kestrel is swift in its descent if it is to make a successful capture. Compared to other falcon species, especially compared to those that hunt more birds, the kestrel has comparatively shorter and stouter toes and feet, better suited for taking on small rodent prey. Shorter and thicker toes are more likely to withstand the potential bites of small rodents if captured, and they also have, despite their small size, an exceptionally powerful grip, which, combined with the razor-sharp talons, is likely to prevent any possible escape and dispatch the prey pretty quickly. However, like virtually all other members of the falcon family, kestrels, despite their small size, can still certainly pack a punch, being able to stun or kill small animals outright with a single well-placed strike.
Whoa!
Another feature that kestrels share, along with all other members of the falcon family, is the tomial tooth, a tooth-like appendage on their upper mandible behind the hook of their beak, which can be used to bite through the neck vertebrae of a prey item if it isn't already dispatched. With such a unique hunting style and various impressive anatomical features, kestrels are a highly effective and successful hunter, and they remain one of the most abundant and frequently seen species of birds of prey in Britain. In the context of falconry, kestrels are termed by many as not true falconry birds, for their small size and specialised hunting techniques means that they are usually unable to take game in the same way that other more famous birds of prey are able to, with their greater size and speed. They can also be surprisingly difficult for the beginner in falconry, as their small size and fast metabolism can make weight management especially challenging. However, with the proper training, experience and fitness, a kestrel can be especially fun to watch, and their hovering abilities combined with their agile prowess on the wing can make them a spectacular demonstration or lure bird. In the world of birds of prey, sheer size and power isn't always everything.